Once again, thanks everyone for being here today. I'm Charlie Lincombe, Director of Operations for the Virginia Opioid Abatement Authority, and this is our last scheduled Q&A and tech support session for city and county applications for the current application period. I'm going to share my screen real quick, just to review the calendar of dates that are coming up. Okay. So as a note through this and through other places as well, you can get links to previous webinars and slide decks. This one from 218 is also available on our grants, no, not grants, sorry, Abatement Academy page. Um, and then here we are today. And then new applications are due Monday. 316. It's for new FY27 awards through the portal. It'll be submitted by 11:59 p.m. that day. Renewal applications are due April 1st, 2026, and that has to also be submitted by 11:59 p.m. through the portal. And direct distribution reports are due 416. So this would only really be for cities or counties that haven't completed a direct distribution report as part of one of a new or renewal application. So either you elected not to complete them at that time, or you don't have an individual directly an individual application to attach it to, or you may be like a cooperative partner who's not the fiscal agent, and then so you can use the standalone direct distribution reports that's available in the grants portal to complete those. And so through one of these submissions, we should get that direct distribution report that's required for um, each locality that's participating in a grant. And hopefully, I think we've heard some feedback that the revised version of the direct distribution reports that's out there now is much easier to walk through. And I have a link here also to that to the guidance that goes along with it. Should be much easier to get the information in and reconcile to what you're doing than some of our previous versions. And then after that, we'll be working applications. We'll be in contact, I'm sure, with most of you or all of you as we go through and have questions and work to come up with our recommendations for our grants committee. In May, there's going to be basically like a grants management, like what do you need to do now that if you've gotten an approved award, and how do you need to manage that award during the performance year. And then we'll have a virtual grants committee meeting on the 11th, which is going to be informational only. The grants committee is not taking up any actions at that point. We are just going to use that to go through the details of all the proposals and recommendations. And then on the 15th, there'll be an in-person grants committee meeting at Hotel Roanoke, 9:30 a.m. for the committee to consider those applications and make their motions for what they're going to approve. And that is the morning preceding the start of the Virginia Recovery Conference that the Opioid Abatement Foundation is hosting and that OAA is a primary sponsor of. So now I am going to stop sharing and turn it over either to Matt or Sharika, whoever wants to do it. There's been a recent issue in the portal that some of you may have run across, and in case others, if you haven't, we just want to go ahead and show you what the error looks like and let you know what's going on from our end with it.
So as you can see, this is the error, and it happens when you resume an application from the dashboard. I don't believe it's been happening with every single application, but it does seem to be pretty widespread between new and renewals and individual versus cooperative versus direct distribution. So if you do see this, feel free to just shoot an email with the application number to the info@voaa box, and we will add it to our list. But it does seem to be related to the application itself and not like the application type, whether it's individual renewal, and not the actual account of city or county. Um, so we do apologize for the inconvenience, but we are hoping to get this back up as soon as possible.
We've instructed our vendor that this is their top priority right now.
Yes. And I am aware of one other issue. I thought we had corrected it. It had been corrected for a little time, but seems to have cropped back up of certain questions, project narrative that are not saving. So if you do run across that issue where a response in the project narrative does not save for you, please just again send us the application number and which question it was, and we will get that corrected for you.
Thanks, Matt. Um, and just also as a reminder for everyone that if we get close to the due dates and something like this or something else is happening that an issue the portal has created, unfortunately that may keep you from submitting, then you will not be penalized for that. We will work through with that, whether it's just one or two, or if there's something more widespread, then we'll work on updating due dates and things. So. So from there, I'm going to open it up for questions. We can use the Q&A feature, or use the hand raise feature if you want to ask a question in the meeting. Either way is fine, but now is your chance to ask any burning questions, grants, city, county grants, grants portal, all those types of things. All right. Sarah, go ahead.
Hi there. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. Hey, I'm Sarah from Prince William County. My
Mhm.
colleague and I are on, and we are potentially looking at a new grant application to support our recovery dockets or treatment dockets. And I was reviewing on the website different examples of applications, but I didn't see any for any treatment dockets you support. Is that possible for me to review one, or is there any available that we could look at?
So you're looking for treatment docket like applications?
Yes, sorry. Yeah,
Yes. We can, if you want to put your email in the chat, we can pull some out of the system and send them out for you. We've supported quite a few, but we haven't had a time to really we haven't had enough time to as much as we would like to get them out, get copies of things out on the website in ways that people can absorb and use. So we're
sure.
working towards
Okay,
that.
we'll do that. And then I had another question. Our focus in the future would be a behavioral health docket. And do you have any guidance about how much or how specific we have to be between the connection of someone with a substance use disorder and a serious mental illness? And how specific do we have to be in a treatment court like that that's focused on behavioral health to ensure the connection is made with substance use?
Um, you mean as far as using
Opioids, yeah, sorry.
opioid funds to support it? Um,
Yes.
your focus of your program should be directed towards opioids, but as with all of the awards that we make, there is language in the Code of Virginia that says and or co-occurring substance use disorders and or co-occurring mental health disorders. And one of the ways that we have kind of put that together is if they have an opioid use disorder, then that's what you're treating, you're helping get treatment to connection to. If they have, say, a stimulant use disorder or severe mental health condition, they're certainly at higher risk of developing opioid use disorder. So by trying to get them in a process to treat that mental health disorder or that uh, other substance use disorder, you're helping prevent the development of opioid use disorder. So it's just kind of putting it in different part of its treatment, part of its prevention. Um,
Yes.
but it's all the same thing. As long as you're focused on that, that's the reason that that language is in the code is to provide the flexibility so that when other people come in with similar issues that could also, also with when they say, fentanyl's and everything, well, isn't everything an opioid at this point? So um, there's a couple
Right.
ways to work through that. So if you're working on writing and stuff up, we're happy to, look at drafts ahead of time and provide any additional feedback of wording that might be helpful. So
Thank you. That's very helpful. I'll put my email in the chat.
great. Thank you.
Carly, we had a question through the Q&A, so I just want to kind of answer
Mhm.
for everyone. So direct distribution reports for fiscal agents and cooperative partners, for cooperative partnership applications, those are due by 11:59 p.m. on April 16th. And those reports are to be submitted via the OAA grants portal. So they're not
Yep.
due at the same time as your application. So you do have until April 16th for all cooperative partners and cooperative fiscal agents to submit those direct distribution reports in the portal.
We're happy if you get them in by the first, but or the 16th of this month. We do encourage people if potentially go in and just get those done and knocked out ahead of time. So it's not one less thing to worry about. But also, I think we've had a question come up. If you have an individual distribution, a new application or a renewal, you can complete your direct distribution report as part of that application. If you've updated that, to current status, you don't need to do the separate standalone one as well. You only need to do one. You could do it through an individual distribution application or as a standalone report. Other questions? Q&A, feature or hand raise? Hey, Jennifer.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, you?
Doing all right. So we were awarded an individual distribution in fiscal year 26. We're most likely not going to use all of those funds, so we'll need them to roll over to next year. Do I need to submit a renewal application for rollover, or will that just be granted as a part of the annual report?
Yeah, you'll uh, need to do you're going to keep the project's going to be active um, still in the next performance period, right?
Yes, so we won't be requesting any new funds. It will
Yeah,
just
but
be
you still
rollover.
need to do, yeah, if you're just doing carry forward. That's fine. Yes, in that case, you still need to submit a renewal application because
Okay,
the grants committee is only authorized any project right now to run through June 30th of this year. So
okay.
even if there's in that they will authorize that carry forward, and then when we get to the annual report process, that will true up if there's any difference between what was
The request.
the
Yeah.
request and the application and where you landed at the end of the year.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
Problem.
So Charlie, we had another question in the Q&A. The question
Mhm.
is there a project cost cap?
No, you can ask for whatever you want. But if it's an individual distribution, or using individual gold standard fund and or gold standard funds, you're capped at the amount that's available at the time of application, which is what's shown in the lookup tool. And that takes into account, any previous awards and whatnot. We can't give out funds for like say FY29 or FY30 in FY27. We haven't received those funds yet. Those are only available as they come in. As far as cooperative partnerships, that's competitive. You can ask for as much as you like. but I will tell you, we have about a 15 to $16 million budget for the whole, at best, for the whole state with those. And there's a certain amount of money that's allocated out to each region to start, each DVHDS region to start, because that's how the awards are supposed to be made by the code. And then, depending on what's left over, or if we have the ability to use some unrestricted funds for certain types of projects, we can recommend to the grants committee to consider usage of those to go over and above those. Those are usually used for short-term projects that are like getting something open and going that'll be self-sustaining once it's up. But you know, I would if you've got something that's like $10 million or something, reach out to one of us or to your local government liaison and let's talk through it and what makes sense. Projects can also be iterative over a couple of years, if you've got a capital project for $3 million and that award goes into place July 1, it's often very unlikely that you are going to be able to go through your standard procurement process and get the project started and completed and spend all 3 million in that first 12 months. So that could be a 2 year that asks for a little bit less, breaking the funds up over multiple years to get it to fruition as well. Lots of options. So more than happy to chat through what might be the best. Any other questions? These are good ones. Going once. Hand raise, Q&A chat. Going twice. All right. Not saying anything else. So I appreciate everyone being here. And as usual, we'll get this posted up, and you should hopefully start seeing some new newsletter stuff come out in what will be our nicely redesigned newsletter. It looks a little more professional than the slapdash version that I did back in January of 2023, so we could have one. We've been floating on for a while. Thank to our team with our partners with Consociate Media to put that together for us. So, with some additional reminders, and if there's any other resources we can provide, we will. And you've got your local government liaisons. You've got those of us on staff. Please do reach out for any questions or any issues, and we're more than happy to help get it across the finish line. Thanks very much, everyone.